Hey, welcome back there, YouTube. This is MTG Moxman. I thought today, this is like a voiceover recording of some matches I just did. I wanted to give you guys a little synopsis of how things played out. Now, I didn't win all these matches. This is a best of 3. And what you're going to see is, in the time of this match, I managed to win 2 out of 3, I believe. So, it's not bad. It played fairly well. And you'll get a good look when you see just how the action here starts. The decks I play, I guess they're still not prepared for this type of deck that just counters what you do, right? Everything it has, I don't mind taking a hit or two. The deck doesn't mind taking a little bit of damage as it goes. It just wants to beat you down. It wants to make you pay for those kind of mistakes, right? And that's not easy to say, but it's how the game goes. Now, here you can see it's like turn 4. I put out the Wanderer because I didn't want to take any more hits. I don't mind the Wanderer taking a hit or 2. I have more than one. I have one extra in my hand, so it's okay to take those hits. And when you're thinking about that ahead, you got to know your deck, guys. You got to play this a little bit. You got to work it out and know what it can and can't do. That's why in some cases you know which games you're going to win, and you know which games you're going to lose just by looking at it. Now, for those who are new to the channel, please hit subscribe, join us. It's awesome. I don't always do these type of videos. I talk a lot of finance stuff, but right now, when Ikoria came out, I found a real deficit in how they've decided to do Ikoria with all these monsters. There's just too many ways of dealing with them. And you can see my entire deck right here is built up of stuff that stop you. Like, here we go, the Cry of Carnarian, right? And there you go, boom, creatures are gone, they're exiled. They're not coming back. So when he's going to try to use cards that he wants to bring back later in the game, he's not going to be able to go back to cycle them back, which is key for keeping things out. Now, I did notice a slight deficiency when I was playing today, and that was that I should put some Hushbringers in my deck, 1 or 2 of them, to stop the Agents of Treachery from when they come into play. You would not want to play it early in the game because obviously the opponent will eliminate it, but as a mid-game, just before they can, turn 5, 6, 7, when they start getting ready to lay out an Age of Treachery, being able to stop them is kind of cool. So it is something I'm thinking about adding in, and I probably can cut back on 1 or 2 cards to make that fit. Because although I'm using the Wanderer and I do have Command the Dreadhorde in this deck, it really has not been what's been making me win. Okay, this one here, I believe, in this matchup as I'm playing it, and you're watching me play here, I believe he gives up actually partway through. He's had enough. He finds it's kind of a beating, and he's probably thinking about what he's got, and he's going, I don't think I can win. I think is what ends up happening here. I don't know, I did it today, but it's funny, I had my whole family around me, and I didn't think it'd be good to hear all kinds of background noise going, so I didn't do it in this case. Like, he just killed off my guy, that's so mean. Right? But, again, it's knowing what you can and can't do. In this kind of matchup, even though he's got more cards than me, I'm not stressed out. I'll take some hits. I want to see what he's got going on. I wanted to read that card because I wasn't sure what else it did. But I have no problem dragging a game out, killing creatures off one by one to make it happen. And that's very important to me, to make sure I can make things go the way I want them to. So, when you see this happening, guys, don't be afraid to take a hit once in a while to make it happen for yourself later on down the road. Life is an expendable thing in this game. And this deck in particular fares very well against the red decks you're going to face, multi-decks. It did not do well against a Planeswalker deck earlier on today, because unless you get a Planar Cleansing, you can't clear the battlefield. Here he's trying to beat me down. I think he does the Giant again. He brings out he brings out, there you go, brings out a Shock. There's the big Giant. And then his turn will end. I'll draw a card. You're going to see, it's just a big old mountain, right? Now, do I seem stressed? No. Am I going to cast anything? No. Because if I cast the Giant, look what's going to happen, right? So, I'm waiting. And you're waiting sometimes for the right thing to happen at the right time. It's hilarious. I don't think when they put Ikoria together here, guys, they were really thinking about what they should be thinking about. So, I'm not sure they always think about the cards that are in other sets, still as standard. Because I find that very amusing. Oh, here's that Apex Beast. I At first I was like, "Ee, this isn't so good." But then I'll Planar Cleanse. I still have enough mana left over to cast out the Birth to cycle out another land out of my hand, which is nice. There you go. See? Boom. So we clear that off. Go get myself a Plains, put it into play. See? Worked out perfectly. Now again, if you're going to be building this deck, of what I told you guys in my previous video, you're going to want to make sure you get all the right cards. There are cards I'm actually missing. I made a note of that. The odd or even card and stuff, I don't have enough, but it's okay. I will survive. Here we go. Squish this guy again. Now you can see, you notice how he had 5, 6 cards, he was ahead of me by 2 or 3 cards. If you look at his hand, there's a big hand. You're going to see I'm slowly still gaining cards. I'm still staying on top of things. I'm always 2, 3 cards in my hand. Right? And they're all creature kill. They're all things to make and pay. And that's what's keeping me ahead, is even if you put out 1 or 2 creatures each turn, sometimes it's good just to sucker people in. Take a hit for 3 damage and think you don't have anything, then they put out a 5/5 or something bigger, but you give it the beatdown. Now here I said, oh, let's put a giant out. Why not? I have nothing else to play. I might as well put the giant out and see what happens. Right, now you're just trying to draw him out, because the giants aren't usually what I use to win, but I figure it wouldn't hurt to start doing it. Now you can see he has 4 cards, I have 4 cards, but I have a creature in play. Which means all of his cards right now are reactive cards. Nothing is going to help him, because he has nothing to play with it. He has no creature on the battlefield, he has nothing to go with it. So I say, I want to go and look at his hand. There's nothing in play I can kill, but I'll still be able to exit that graveyard later, because I want the graveyard gone whenever I can in this deck. And I want to see what he's got, just so I know what could be coming up, so I can better prepare to play against it. Alright. This is taking a while. What are you doing, buddy? Hurry up. Make your move. Make your move, make your move. Ah, he didn't do anything. So you can see, I have that command, the Dread Horde. Now I see he's got a lot of stuff. I'm surprised he didn't bolt me when he had the chance, but that's fine. So, Giant smacks him. Boom. He's down to 4 life. He does draw. I thought this was the game he gave up, but I must be wrong. I'm trying this voiceover thing. Instead of just commenting, like I said, during the game, I thought we'd take a retrospective look here as we're playing. So now he's got this 2/2 guy out, which is awesome. He's like, oh, it's going to be good. But I can just cast out another Realm Cloak Giant spell to kill all non-giants and just kill him. Alright, so now I cast out Realm Cloak Giant. Alright, let's cast it off. I kill his stuff because he thinks he has a turn left. He thinks he can block. Which, of course, he can't block me. Because he has no guy left. Big hand came out and thumped him. And he gives up. Now, our next game that comes up, because I did this consecutively. I did 3 in a row. Boom, boom, boom. Just so you could see. The next one here is a very long game. I'm going to warn you guys now. It is a very long game. This video is like, what, 30-something minutes, I believe? 35, 36 minutes? Oh, sorry, 37 minutes and 12 seconds. Okay. When you look at this, guys, what you're going to see is this game gets dragged out. Oh my god, does it get dragged out. I like my opening hand because I can get my planes out. I have 1 black, 1 white. I'm happy with this. Now, earlier, I've had trouble playing with decks like this when I only have 2 land. I don't usually keep 2 land. I want to see 3. But in this case, I did it because 2 of the births will make you have 4 land. You know there's always a yawn somewhere, guys. My apologies there. So, when you see what I'm doing here, I'm going to take the hit from this guy. Ah, he's not nice. I'm going to go ahead and lay out the birth. Pardon me. Throat's getting a little dry here. That lets me go and get my planes. And originally, I'm thinking he's going to hit me for 4 this first turn. He's going to pump it out. But he doesn't end up doing it. The lands he has comes into play tapped. And then he just keeps the card on top. Here comes a Hushbringer. This is what gave me the idea. As I realized, that's right, Hushbringers stop things. I am using a white deck, so I can use this card in my deck. It's kind of cool. I don't have it at the moment in this deck when I'm playing it, But this is what gave me the idea for it. Because it would definitely stop the Agents of Treachery deck later on, and stop killer effects when they come into play. Slow things down. I do have a play set that I've already built for this deck. So here he goes, being dragged out. Now, if you notice here, I thought this was cool. He brought out the Hushbringer, but when he brings out Kroxa, it doesn't die, because he stopped all the effects. So it's a 2 casting cost 6/6 creature. That is amazing. That blew my mind. That is a 2 casting cost 6/6 creature which didn't die because he had the Hushbringer. That's awesome. I like that combo. I hadn't seen that done before. It caught my eye. It's not going to save him, but it caught my eye. Because I know on turn 4, I'm going to have to stop him, right? Turn 4 here is coming, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to play my stuff out. I don't know why. It seems like everything's frozen here. Is that me frozen? The game frozen? What's going on here? I have no idea, guys. My apologies. Is the game frozen? What just happened? I don't know what's going on. It says here, no blocks, nothing's going on. If this game is frozen, I'm just recording for no reason, guys. I apologize. It seems like an inordinately long time for me to be sitting here. Unless I was busy with my family at this point? What was going on? I have no idea. Let's see, I'll let it go in there like 10-15 seconds. And we'll see if this is what's actually happening in the video. Because the video's still running. Let's see, I can see the time loop thing here going. What happened? So weird. Sorry, guys. So it looked like the game did freeze a little bit there, guys. I'm not sure quite what happened here, but so I did a little bit of an overlay here. Hopefully it picks up nicely.
I have no idea.
As you can see, I cleared the battlefield out. I made sure I had things going, and then as I went along with this battle, like, you can see as I get the lands going, I have a little bit of mana left over. He's got 5. I've got like 7 or 8 land at this point. I do put a creature out once in a while. I only have a couple of his generals. I just want to poke at him and see what he's got, see what he has to kill me with. But as I said before earlier, guys, this went so long. This video was dragged out because I kept laying stuff out, he kept laying stuff out, and nothing was happening. We just were dragging things out for like an impossible length of time. I don't know what to tell you, but this match goes on for like another 16 minutes of us slowly dragging things out from each other. He brings out a Kroxa. I get rid of the card that's going to give him a land. I can't really play a giant, so I use the odds or even. And of course I'm going to choose even. Going to wipe the creature out, make myself feel better, and it's exiled. So he's not bringing it back again, which I enjoy. But I still like the idea of that Hushbringer. If you look at that part, that is awesome. Now, here we have it going again. Sometimes I'm going to take that top card just so I can see what he has in his hand, right? But it's kind of funny, right? You see all my cards kill stuff. I know from an earlier match the guys can have these D-sparks and things in, so I usually don't just cast out giants for the sake of casting out a giant. That's not what I usually would do. And I don't know what's happening, but you can see I cast him out to give it a test to see what he's got in his hand. Because I'm thinking, you know, giants aren't normally my hit creatures, but let's see if it can burn a card out. And sure enough, if it has no counters on it, it's dead. And you're like, oh yeah, that's not bad for 2 casting cost, right? There's a good old Hushbringer. Hushbringer is awesome. It's a good card, but I knew I had this coming, so I wasn't worried about it. Don't have to waste something big like a planar cleansing. I can just take out the card and say, goodbye Hushbringer, see you later, enjoy the ride, hope things went well for you, and away it goes. Now, as I was explaining, when you see how long some of these matches go, you realize it is a pretty intense thing for a match to go this long, but it does happen if I don't get one of those Castle Ardenvales early. That's how you win with this deck, is you pump out the mini monsters after you wipe battlefields clean. But I wasn't drawing any. Okay, guys? I wasn't getting any. So this game was being dragged out. Now I see it has all these things that take things away. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. I think I get rid of the Bedevil, right? You saw that's gone. And the match continues on. But it's slow now. Because I don't have it, it is slow. Now, because he had so much land, I didn't want him pumping that guy to some ridiculous number right away. Now, what I find funny here is I get rid of his graveyard, sure. Didn't have a lot much stuff in there, but he doesn't seem to have that many ways of winning either. Because you don't see, I mean, he has Kroxa and a few cool combos with the Kroxa and the Hushbringer, but other than that, and some Ebon Knights, he didn't seem to have that much in his deck to deal with what I had, which I thought was kind of cool, right? I'm like, okay, I get it. He has a lot of creature kill stuff too, but not global effect kill stuff. He has individual small kill things, kill an individual creature, which I consider wasted card fodder. When I can use a Planar Cleansing and wipe the field clear, a Shatter the Sky, wipe the field clear. Anything. Now, okay, you see here, I'm starting to build up cards in my hand because he's not casting and I'm not casting. So you can see that from what we're looking at, right? I've got 4 or 5 cards again, which I usually don't have by this point. I'm not going to take damage by trying to draw cards early because I have too many cards in my hand. So I usually won't bother. Now, I thought this was kind of cute. He did not want this card exiled, which made me think he had a way of going back to get it later. He kills his own creature to stop me from exiling that creature. I thought it was kind of unique. I don't usually see people do that anymore. Unless he had an immediate way of getting it back, which he never had. Like, he never went back to get it. So. And there you go. See, I knew he'd get these kind of things. So let's get some of the cards out of his hand. And as you can see, I'm still drawing cards, but I am not drawing the cards I need. It is hilarious. I just find it so funny that as we draw, I can't get the cards I need, which is the castle, to get things going. And of course, I'm not using the lock right now, because I'm not going to take 4 or 5 damage for drawing a card and giving the upper hand. Now, he did have a cool combo card that doubles his life total and halves my life total that he does a little bit later on. And that is cool. Like, I get it. Cool little thing to do. But if you can't polish the person off with the rest of it, it's like, what's the point? Yeah, we'll take a look at your hand again. You know, I'm thinking, hey, I'll go in there, pick another card out, or at least see what the rest of your cards are. But he doesn't cast much after this. He gets a few creatures later, but he basically, to me, is just dragging the game out, which I find very insulting. If you know you've lost, let it go. It's okay. It's okay to let it go. You can see there, yeah. Look at that. Still dragging out. I'm getting these, you know, everything that kills creatures. He's getting everything that kills creatures. But there's no creatures. There's nothing to deal with it. There's his Croak. So he's thinking, oh, I got Croak. But he must have known I had enough stuff to wipe that board. He's like, oh, I'm going to get rid of the Carnarium. Canarium? Whatever it is. Because minus C2 isn't going to get rid of that creature anyway. I know I'm not really using the command the Dreadhorde anytime soon. Now I think eventually I end up getting one of the Enforcer guys, and that's where I start to pull ahead. Next turn or two, I think. Just wait and see. Still a giant right now. So there's where he like doubles the life and halves the life. But, okay, here's where I get the Enforcer. I'm going to go out. I'm going to kill off Kroxa right away. Right? He's going to try to kill my guy. And then I exile one of my own creatures in my graveyard. I think it's the Giant. Just to give myself a couple of creatures. Give myself, you know, some 1/1s to start pecking. This is where the game finally starts to reverse around. So anyone who's made it this long into my video, I really appreciate you guys watching this far in. But if you're particularly wanting to beat Ikoria decks, or you're hoping to beat some of these Mutate decks and some of the faster decks, this deck has done very well against it. You can see why, just by looking at the cards in my hand. You can see I've got the Planar Cleansings, Canariums, I've got everything to wipe out the low-level creatures to stop the mutates from happening, and the higher-level creatures later on as the metagame unfolds in front of us. The Dread Horde, I have not used it that much because I exile graveyards. So if I'm going to put Hushbringers in to stop the Agents of Treachery and stop some of the air effects, that's what I'll be taking out. Is maybe one of the Dread Hordes and one of the Wanderers. The Wanderer still helps for all the other effects, but getting rid of one to put in 2 Hushbringers might help me out. And it has lifelink, so it might help out with some life totaling later on. So here we go. Soon you'll see that I get the Castle Ardenvale. It's about time too, right? Like I was stressing out, going like, "Where's my stuff, man? Where's my stuff?" And then you're like, oh, "There's my Castle Ardenvale." And then you can be like, "Okay, now I'm gonna smack you." Give you a little. And remember, when you're using Castle Ardenvale or any creature producer, use it at the end of a turn, so you can't use any effects at that point. You don't want him to do a blow up spell at the end. You want him to waste mana multiple times if you can. So he scries here. I'm like, oh, what's he going to scry? Is he going to keep it? When I see he keeps it, I kind of go, ooh, he's keeping it. That's not a good sign. Alright, so I go ahead. I'm like, okay. Wait for him to stay at the end of the turn. Like, he holds me off, but from here on in, you know, you see his life total is so high, guys? This is his downfall from here on in. I start pecking away inch by inch, and if I couldn't, in another aspect of this game, if you laid out a bunch of creatures you couldn't deal with, you can always Planar Cleanse, you can always Canarium, you can always Giant Realm Cloak, you can Shadow the Sky, you can do multiple effects to clear the battlefield for yourselves, and that's what you care about. Because your creatures, unlike his, your creatures will keep coming back. You can regenerate them. I mean, it costs a lot of mana, but you're going to get mana as the game unfolds. It's just going to happen. So, don't worry about that part of the game. See, it's like, oh, I got my little 1/1. Oh, I got my little 1. And this is where I start getting multiples of the castle. And then I'm like, oh, I draw my 3rd one, and I have lots of mana, as you can see, so I can basically make 3 creatures a turn, which is the exact same as, like, the Chandra card where you put the token counters on, right? He starts taking some punishment here. You watch this. Is this it? He wipes the field clean at one point, I think. Maybe it's not yet, but he does it at one point. But it still isn't going to help because it's at the end, right? It's the downfall. He has no way. He didn't seem to have enough creatures to deal with what I was doing. Now, a couple times during this game, guys, I was concerned I was going to run out of cards even before I could fully get through all this stuff. Because I started going, ooh, I have like 20 cards, he's got 24. Like, you start worrying about when you get down to the nitty-gritty. Because I have no way of cycling back to my deck. Right? I have no way of regenerating it, so... I have no more planes! There's no more planes in there to help me out. So it's kind of like, oh, that's not good. This is funny. Oh, I'll double your life total again. Yes, you will, but you have no way of doing anything to me. So I wasn't really worried about taking damage because all this damage was physical. But I realized even if he lays out a Kroxa again, I'm not taking 3 damage because I have lots of cards in my hand. It's hilarious. Here we go again. And you can see, now it's my turn about to happen. Now, I make a mistake here slightly. I shouldn't have laid out the Wanderer. But I lay it out thinking, oh, just in case damage, non-combat damage comes my way. But I forget he has all these things that exile creatures that are 4 or greater in casting cost. So I wasn't thinking it. I was like, oops. So I was like, alright. A little slap to my wrist. Yeah, I made a mistake. It happens though, right? Like, let's face it, guys, we make mistakes. And this is a great way to see how we can fix those mistakes going forward. But I still have lots of creatures. And I'm still slapping them around. As you can see. But you can see as well, this is a drawn-out game. It's like crazy. I'm sitting there going, wow, buddy. What are you doing to me here? I'm falling asleep. As I'm even telling you guys this video, I'm sitting here. I'm not in my actual normal game space, but I'm just like, get it over with, buddy. So here he goes again. I start making creatures again. So if he has no way of dealing with this many creatures, it makes me think, why don't you just give up at this point? Because you know it's a turn or 2 away. You'd be thinking what's left in your deck that can deal with this amount. If he doesn't have a global effect to wipe things out, what's the point? Just call it a day, go on to your next match. Now, I thought this was funny. He starts killing 1/1 creatures, but he takes the damage each time he does it. He had these spells in his hand, but that's what he's doing. 1 damage here, 1 damage there, right? Strange. As I rewatch this, it's kind of like, oh yeah, I remember this part. Oh yeah. I started getting some life back. Started feeling okay. Started feeling the warm, tingly feeling. And then gave a huge beat down. At this point, look at my hand. It's full of, like, wipes. Let's wipe the board with this. Let's wipe the board with this. So, I don't understand why he was actually using the mana this way to cast out Kroxa. I didn't understand. I'm like, okay, you cast out Kroxa. How is that going to help you? Like, yeah, I know I'm going to use the Dreadhorde at that point. What am I going to do? Am I afraid of you, or am I just going to beat the living tar out of you? What do you think? I didn't understand. So he casts it again. See what I mean? How is it helping you, though, to win the game? Okay, I'll exile something else, right? You're like, I'm not going to kill all my own creatures at this point. I don't know, it was weird. I think he was just dragging it out, hoping I'd give up. At least he wasn't using all the timeouts to drag the game to the very end. Look, okay, I'll kill it, one creature. This part of the match is almost putting me to sleep up here with you guys. That's crazy. Come on, buddy, get it over with. Now I'm just like, okay, let's go. Because this creature's tapped too. What's the point? I didn't even cast out the exile card. Trying to escape, right? It's like, no, let's just go. But he dragged it out. I'm just like, why? Why did he drag that one out? Now, this last match, I think it was only like a 6-7 minute match. So you know, you can see I jumped right to the next match. This one I lose, and it was he played well. So even for me watching, when I'm watching you guys now talking to you as I overlay this, I thought I'd just take a look myself and see if I made any critical errors or just didn't get enough stuff. See at the beginning, okay, I can take some cards out. Canarium, got the giant. It's not bad. So of course I always use my tap lands right away. Get a little bit of life. Now I hate that card, but I had no way of killing it early on. I knew it would take a few turns to get to that level. I was hoping he wouldn't do anything, but I knew, that's why I put that land out instead of a white land. I knew I wasn't going to get a chance to cast it, because it's an enchantment deck. And you can see, when I was playing, I'm thinking, okay, already, right away. Even if I get the card to kill that card, he's not going to let me. Because he can use the creature to protect it. So I went with the option, instead of the Carnarium, to wipe out multiple cards. Right here, I'll get rid of the bird and I'll get rid of him. Although he does try to save the bird, which is funny. I'm thinking maybe I'll get lucky. Wipe it this turn. See this part? I'm thinking I'm going to take two things out. He tries to save it. Tries to save his birdie. But it doesn't matter. It gets a -2, -2. I love that. Look at the game effect, though. Okay. So, I faced this deck a couple times, these types of decks. And, again, speed is your issue. But what kind of messes me up here is he actually manages to stop one of my spells. And I did not expect it, by the way. I'll know it for next time, but I didn't expect it. So, he's going to come over and hit me, which I knew was going to happen. I'm going to take a beat down. Ow. So now I cast it out. I figure I can kill off the 0/3 at least. Because, you know, enchantments are enchantments. I know I'm facing an enchantment deck. He's going to have all the glitters to pump things up. So I figure next turn this is dead. I'm going to take another big hit. Next turn, Realm Cloak Giant's going to take this out. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. But that's not what happens. That's not how it goes down, guys. So he banishing lights my card. I'm like, oh, that's fine. His guy gets pumped up. I'm thinking, look, he's got 1 mana. What's he going to do? Pump it up for 3 damage or something? He's not going to do anything. I figure it's clear. But I'm wrong. Ow. See, I'm still saying ow like I do in the real. I play really. Ow. Now you can see what's going to happen here. I figure I've got this locked up. Boom. Realm Cloak Giant. And look what happens. Just take a check to read it, because he's taking so long. And it gives it protection. I went and read the cards. I'm like, what is that card again? Because you don't see that card very often, but yep. If it's an enchantment, it gets hexproof. And then it gains indestructible, which is what saved it.
Restoring order to Theros.
Now, I have a Calyx deck myself, so I knew there was only certain things I can do and can't do now. I can't cast out a giant as a protector against that big beastie, because he'll just take that creature away. Right? I have to try again. And look, he saved a white again, so I was thinking he's got one of those transformations. I'm messed up. So I figured my turn, I've got to use the giant again. Alright, so go giant. I'm thinking I'm cool. And let me know if you saw any flaws in how I did this, because I played the best I could. I'm waiting to see what he's going to do. The good news is he had no way of dealing with it, which was awesome. Okay. So now I'm kind of concerned. I'm like, both my kill spells are out. If I lay a giant out, Calyx will just remove it from the game. He'll imprison it. I got lucky here because he didn't find any enchantments. Right? No creature, just got all the glitters. Then I was like, oh, he already had a creature. That's not good. So now I know I'm in trouble. No creatures in hand. He's going to lay all the glitters, which means I can't exile it with the other card. See, 4/4, right, guys? See where I'm getting in trouble here? I'm looking to see what can I cast with the Dread Horde to keep me alive, but not kill me with the Dread Horde. I figure I need to have 2 creatures on the field. Because if I put 1, he's just going to use Calyx to remove it from the game. And I'd be dead anyway. So I'm thinking I've got to get 2 creatures. 2! So I'll go for 2. I thought I was so smart, guys. But I knew I was in trouble anyway. Punk, look what he does to me. Watch this. So this is the last game which I lost out of my games, but that's okay. Still won 2 out of 3. If I was in a tournament, I'd be the winner. When we had played this game, I would have swept the series. Of course, I would have been playing the same guy 3 times, not 3 different people. They should do that in Arena. Best of 3. Oh. Now, I thought, okay, he's going to attack, so what? Oh, he shattered the sky. And that's what got me. Beautifully, he well played it. So, anyway, I thought I would show you guys that today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed everything. Thanks a lot for tuning in. This is MTG Moxman. Please support my channel. Love to see it. And don't forget, Necronomicon Ex Mortis totally rocks. Take it easy, guys. Bye.